Hi, Alf.
Hello, mate.
It's actually been weird because I feel like it's been ages since we were last sat here doing a podcast.
That's probably because it has.
You,
yeah, me and you personally, it's been best part of a month, I think.
Is it really?
I think so. Because you went on holiday, and we had a guest holiday. Yeah, you painted the house, is what I heard in the end. Yeah, weren't allowed out and had to paint the house.
That's it. She'd go out now and again, and I'd just get chained to the floor and say, "That's your wall." For
we thought that was rumours, but I'm glad you confirmed it.
It's true.
And those bruises on your arms, are all right?
Let's not talk about that.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Don't
want to but yeah, it's been a while, mate. Listened to the Briggsy one on my way home yesterday and finished it off on the way back into work today.
What did you think?
It's literally the best one we've done, and I wasn't even on it.
Fair enough. If you're able to say that, so what's happening? Tommy replacing you?
I think so. I think I'm just going to go in here once we get Max in, because obviously it's Max this week. I'm just going to say, Tom, just take over for me, mate, because it was a lot better. And saying that, Tom was actually silent throughout the whole thing.
What, the whole podcast?
So there was like the intro bit, and he told his little story, and then the rest. All like when I was picturing it in my head, he was just sat on a sofa at the back drinking a beer, and every now and again he'd just be like, "The mayor sounds sick, mate."
Yeah, well, you got it half right. It was sat on a sofa drinking a beer. Yeah. It's a shame we didn't film that one, actually. Obviously, we were a little bit limited on resources at that time.
Yeah,
but it was a Friday night, so we both had a couple of beers, went down to Chippy afterwards.
Standard.
But I think he just got lost in Steve's story, mate.
Mate,
like a lot of people do.
That was I've never. It's the same as you boys. I'd heard the story of the mayor over a couple of beers in Zwolle, but I've never heard the full. But he even said at the end that he skipped over a lot of it because it was a 5-year thing. Mate, it was incredible. I was driving into work today as he was finishing it off, and I was just like, I want to go fishing. I'm turning around now.
Well, that is exactly the impact of if a podcast can have that impact, and even obviously because you listen to it on double, triple speed when you're editing it, so we can get it out quick, and then I'll do the proof listen as such to listen to it back. But I was there, I was the one doing the podcast. Yeah, I listened to it back, and I'm just like, oh my god! And like you said earlier, the fact that a month later, that was it. The lake was over.
Yeah, that's the bit that did it for me. It was like he fished for it, he caught it. 5 years, he finally catches it. 1 month later, it's all over. It's all gone. Like, and when he was even saying like there was water snail, all the water snails dead, everything. Like, that's how close it was. And then when he was saying the moral of the story is you've just got to go and grab it there and then. When you've got that opportunity to go and fish this venue, you've been saying you're going to fish for 3 years and not done it yet. Like, you've got to go do it because nothing lasts forever.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And what got me as well is the fact that I think, well, because his first bite he lost. I don't know if you remember when he was telling the story. So it didn't take him long to get his first bite.
Sat on the rod, didn't he?
Sat on the rod and then couldn't get the clutch loose, and then the line parted, I believe. And then it was 50 odd nights before he got another bite.
53 nights, he said, yeah.
For someone to put that much effort into a lake and not give up at that point, you think that's, well, it's almost, if you went once a week, obviously he was probably doing more than once a week, but that's a year's worth of angling if you went once a week, and he hasn't had a bite more than a year. I think it's 56 nights. So, and he said, we asked him, what's your favourite ever capture or the most memorable moment? He said it couldn't be anything else other than that because he's never had anywhere he's put the effort in to do that, which is, and fair play to any, they're a rare breed, those sort of anglers who are able to stick to something.
The other thing is with the mirrors that, you know, people go through long blanks like that, but they go on them on like their lakes where you can pull up into the car park, you can go have a little walk around the swim. The mirror was like you've got to crawl on your belly through brambles to even get to the water's edge, and that's why I think if someone ever asked me what's your favourite capture, I'd be like Steve Briggs when he caught that.
What's your favourite capture? I don't know, but I like Steve.
It's not mine. It's one of his. But no, mega podcast. Really enjoyed it, mate. Well done.
Thank you. No, well, I enjoyed it.
Saw Tommy this morning. I said well done, even though he did nothing.
I don't know. I can't even remember. Like,
it's good to be back, mate. It's good to be back.
Good. And we've got a home guest, shall we call it? Someone we see more often than some of the other guests.
Yeah.
Was our office where we are now at the farm HQ, as we call it.
Yeah.
But he's made a move to the dark side. He's over at our other factory, and he's made a lot of changes with his career. at Nash.
And he's mental.
And he's mental, he is. You're
like,
just, as soon as he gets on camera,
Max.
you look at him, he just looks like a nutty scientist. Especially when he's a lab coat over in the bait factory.
Like I say, I love him, but he's fucking mental.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he'll be happy with me saying that. I'll say to him when he comes in, it's like, you're mental, mate.
Yeah, not mental in the fact that he goes out and kills people.
He's one of those people I could just watch. Do you know what I mean? If I was just a fly on the wall and he's like, I could just watch him and just be like,
it just reminds
what is
me
going on in your head?
Of the social, the one with Austria. Obviously, I didn't go, and all I ever think of is just you and Carl filming him in the bush, and he's just got his waders on, no t-shirt. God knows if he's got anything else on beneath. Putting all his stuff in a boat to boat across the lake when he could have just walked round, I think. And
I literally walked around the corner with my camera. And I've just bowled round and he's there just like almost talking to himself, like pottering around with this weird look on his face. And I just hid and I was just like, God. So we just like crept out from behind the bushes and started filming him. And yeah, like you say, he's just
Max
there.
Hendry.
In nothing, he's just like, he looks like a lumberjack. He's got nothing on apart from a pair of waders. He's just bowling around in the fucking water, packing a boat to boat over to the other side when he could just chuck it in the van and drive round. But that is Max. That's just Max.
Exactly, that is just Max. And if you know him like we do very well, when you think of Max, but he's an extremely hard worker, works hours. None of us.
Makes me feel tired thinking about Max working.
But we'll explore more of that when we actually bring him in.
What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I think from what I can remember since we last caught up on the podcast, got to make sure I don't repeat myself. I went down with Syndicate.
Nice.
I had probably the best session I've had this year. Again, just turned up late afternoon, I think it was. Sealam showing, putting on a bit of a display actually, and flicked a couple of zigs. And this place, I don't know why, it's notorious for losing them. But basically, it's 28 acres, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And it used to be very weedy, and after they spawned, the weed just disappeared. And I mean, it was pondweed, Canadian pondweed, it's just gone. On the place it was like, there was just vans and truckloads of Canadian pondweed uprooted and floated off, where it's gin clear, 16, 17 foot visibility, and it just buggered off and went in the margins, all got cleared out. And the fish went a little bit funny, and then they went on the feed, but just went for a spell of losing them. And I remember I got there straight away on a zig, because I can't go anywhere without casting a zig out. And that one fell off after playing it, and I was like,
I was going to say, we've obviously talked about this in the office a little bit. You've
head loss.
Yeah, you've had a bit of a head loss, haven't you?
Head loss.
So what's your ratio at the moment on? I don't want to make you out.
I'm more than happy to say.
What's your ratio at the moment?
10 bites. 5 landed, 50%. And for me, if you said
that's what spun your head out.
That's absolutely spun my head. And if you'd said to me, like one of you guys, you've had 10 bites and you've lost 5, I would have said, I would have gone like, Jeff, what's he doing? Like, it's so wrong. And for me to experience that, it's made my head my head go on the rig side of things.
Yeah.
And I've always been a fan of the claw, because I love a beak point hook. I think when it goes in, more chance of staying in. And that's what I was having a little bit of. I was losing them on the zigs. I was like, the hook to land ratio on the zigs can be a little bit, less so generally in the bigger picture. But rigs that I was like, the whole year I hadn't lost a fish on that rig.
It's similar rigs that I use, very simple,
identical.
And like, although the lake I fish, I don't really catch much anything. I don't catch anything anyway. But like throughout the winter, I think I landed every single bite on that rig.
I couldn't actually remember until I got down to my syndicate, got proper stuck, and me losing fish in any other place. I did a competition when we come second back in the spring. Every fish hooked on that rig landed. That's for me and Mark, who I was fishing with, and it was just But you're bluebell, same rig, like barbless hooks on that rig. I think I lost a couple.
I think you're one who really analyses your fishing to the nth degree.
I am extremely guilty of overthinking.
Borderline OCD with your rigs and whatnot. So if there's something that's going wrong, like I'm too laid back. If that was happening to me, I'd just be like,
it's not the rig's
maybe it's because I've caught hundreds of fish on rigs rig or similar. Maybe it's the baiting situation, maybe it's the way they're feeding.
Maybe 100% I should be thinking, because why is something that works rig like now? I don't think it's the rig that's at fault, like you say, baiting situation, length for rig. lead size, etc. Probably would have been better. But anyway, that's a bit technical and boring. But that being said, head loss at rigs, but I've sort of
because we had a good chat about it yesterday. A few of us in the office. Has your mind been kind of put at ease a little bit?
I think so. I think it has. For me as well, a lot of the fishing I do is free rods on the spot. I like going to your places like Linear, your Horseshoes, your Mallards at Bluebell. So being able to change rigs quickly is important to me as well. So I didn't really want to then go to a rig that you have to sort of tie up, and I like being able to change like the Ronnie Claw, being able to change quickly. That was always and I don't want to move away from that in a way, because I don't want one approach for here and one approach for there, etc. But that being said, anyway, regardless of that,
when you next down?
Tonight.
So
that last session,
we're going to confidently say to the podcast listeners, you're going to catch one tonight and you'll put a photo up tomorrow.
Well, we can cut this bit out if I don't, so it's fine.
I'll leave it in, it's fine. I'll leave it in.
But no, that was, so last time I went down, it was 5 bites, 3 landed.
Nice.
Lost one on a zig, one off the bottom as usual. Then I went back and again had a bite at 3:30 in the morning, played it and the hook just come off, and then I'm like, oh. That was the last time I was down. Then I went away on holiday, and but I'm back and it's fishing well, so no pressure.
Cool.
But what about you, mate? Other than your
done a couple of nights lately. Blanked. Story of my life. The end. Fishing's kind of, I think, come to an end on my syndicate now. Really looking at the next 4 weeks or so. I'm not really going to be. I might get the odd night in here and there. I'll still go, but
take a leaf out of Briggs's book, mate.
True, but as you know, work's mental in the next few weeks. We've got the Nash Expo.
Of course. I didn't even think about covering that on this, but it'd be silly not to.
Yeah.
Trade show season.
What, for the listeners, what's trade show season, Alf?
It's retailer based generally, which is... Sorry. Retailer, they can see you. We're filming this one. When you
can cut to the other camera when I do this.
I'm with you. Retailer based trade show, and we host usually, is it 2? Well, anyway, we have one at the farm and then one at Horseshoe usually. No, there was 3. There was usually one in the Midlands. So it's three shows across a period of a month, really.
That's the UK ones, because then they do a couple in Europe as well.
Oh, right, yeah, correct, yeah. And it's where all the retailers in the UK come over, check out all the new products, put their orders in, and then the product drops over the next 3 or 4 months for you guys, the consumers.
So it's very much a retailer-based thing.
Retailer-based expedition, whatever you want to call
expedition, like going up Everest.
Yeah, maybe that isn't the right word. What's the word I'm looking
for? I don't actually know.
Not expedition.
What's expo? What's an expo?
Yeah, what's expo short for? That's the word. Whatever expo short for, that's what I was trying. Yeah, not going up Everest. But retailers come check out the new products. But this year, speaking to Tommy, events manager, James, they've gone in.
They have gone in hard. Like, I can't even begin to imagine what it's going to look like. I'm well excited, actually. I'm not going to reveal anything that's going to be there, but I think a lot of it will get carried over into the public shows come the winter. But yeah, they've gone big on this one. They've gone big. So any retailers who might, I don't know if this will go out before the expo because it's next week, but any retailers who get the chance to book in, go and do it, because it's going to be quite a
well, we'll be up there. You're on setup, and then I'm up there for a bit of a live stream. We can't reveal too much as of yet, but don't worry, because the media team has been on hand for product videos. You'll see it all, guys.
Like every year, we do a bit of a walk round of the new products. So I'm going to film Mikey. He's going to just do a quick walk round of this expo, show everyone all the new products. I'll get a video edited quite quick, and then we'll get that out hopefully within a week. So probably within a week of this podcast going out.
So middle of October?
Earlier than it's got to be earlier than that now. Okay. There'll be a video showing people all the stuff that we're going to be bringing out over the next few months, all the new products leading up to Christmas, some really exciting ones. Can we say anything yet?
The guys, I did a live stream last night, so we went into depth. You might have had a listen. The Bushwhacker baiting pole.
Yeah, this one's exciting. Should we talk about this for a bit?
Yeah, that's the one.
I don't want to be too product pluggy, but
no, but in terms of, because it's exciting, new products. Everyone loves new products. I remember when
we get a new leg clip out, I'm not fast, but
a new swivel isn't anything revolutionary, but this one is a bit of an edge, and I know there's a lot of guys who are sort of like, do we have to release it because I'm doing so well? Now everyone's going to have it, especially Ollie.
And like even just making the media for it, it's been
fun actually. Me and Tommy did a
like
good
some
video.
of the boys, the couple of guys filming it here, they've made some wicked stuff, some really fun stuff. And
that'll be
coming out.
Saying that might even be out when this podcast goes out because we're looking at first week of October.
Oh yeah, it will be. So yeah, if you've seen any of the bait and pole stuff, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
But what is it? What is the bait and pole, Alf?
It is. Mikey pointed this out yesterday as well. One of the key selling points on it is that the head is self-floating, so there's no float on the pole section as such, which is obviously beneficial. The design of it and on the actual head system itself, brilliant in terms of being able to drop the rig at range, and the actual just making sure the lead doesn't get stuck, the bait, and it's infinite. Not that we advocate you putting it 300 yards because that would be very, very tricky.
But you can buy extra sections. And it's not limited to X amount of sections. You can just keep.
I don't want to ruin a video either. I'm not sure whether this will go out. I won't ruin, just in case that video hasn't gone out, but we've done a video. Tone and Mikey did a video of just sort of demonstrating its ability, its distance.
How far Mikey could put it. Kind of sensibly and still have control over it and be able to straighten it up again and drop a rig effectively. And it baffled me. I didn't think it'd go that far. No, and I was like, wow,
he's feeling the lead down with it as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
great big kit, but we can't do it justice verbally.
Yeah,
you have to watch the
That's
videos.
My favourite product. I think that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks, so look out for that one. But been
a long time in the making, that one as well, isn't it?
Years.
Just cutting footage out the other day of Alan using one of the early samples and
of the actual
2-3 years
section,
of the pole section, I think. So I'm sure you'll like that one, guys. That'll be one of many exciting products. I can actually see one. The camera probably can't pick it up. The new products just outside the window that's set up. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. That's going to be probably another one of the exciting ones.
That's it. Right, we've been going for a bit. We've gone on the waffle.
Yeah, as usual.
Should we get Max in?
Yeah, let's get him in before he might just sort of wither away in the office in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Right, we'll get Max in.
Yeah, let's go.
Good start.
Okay.
Yeah. Action. Keep all this in. It's good stuff.
This is gold.
You all right, Max?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me.
It's good. Our pleasure, mate.
Yeah.
Have you been looking forward to it?
Yeah. To be honest with you, like anything I've ever done filming wise, all of this, always brick it every single time.
Well, I was just saying to you
Massive
earlier, podcasts for me, they're easy because there's no cuts, there's no learning, or there's no script, there's no direction.
Yeah.
That is the fun of the podcast. You just go with it. So
you don't have to get as much like all this information in it, and you're not trying to tell. We're just having a chat.
And we're allowed to swear.
Yeah,
it's always a bit easier. Yeah,
that's well easy because I'm pretty bad for that anyway.
Yeah,
on a normal working day. So
It's good. Let loose, lay back, Max.
Because obviously you've just said to me in the kitchen when we were making a coffee, you're like, oh, I'm a bit nervous. And I was just like, it's fine because it's not like filming where I remember in Wilson's one, he was like stumbling sentences and stopping and starting the sentence again so we can cut it. I'm like, no, just talk normally.
That was the shortest podcast episode, but the one that took the most effort because of
and poor media team just want it's nice and clean.
Yeah, something easy, minimum amount of work. It's a bit of us, so
good.
How you been? I haven't seen you in ages.
I know. I feel like I sort of turn up here on a whim, don't I? Maybe
once every flying in a high vis through the office every now and then. Hello, Max, and then that's all I see of you for a month.
Drop something off and bugger off pretty quickly, don't I? So.
That's it. How long have you been with us now?
3 years now, I think.
Inside Max Hendry, as Alf would say. Is that what you said to Kevin?
No, I said let's explore Kevin Nash, which probably wasn't the best choice of words, but
oh really?
Yeah. That's live now. I can't do anything about that. Yeah.
So he got well nervous. Are you nervous in this one?
I'm not nervous in this one.
Really?
I'm not going to get defensive.
You're all shaking now. Yeah, I'm bad enough anyway. I'm with you on this one, Alf, so don't worry.
No, it's fine. It's only because there's cameras. It's only the second one we filmed. and Barney and Tonary. But look, they were laughing in the background, judging us.
Barnes loving it.
Just coffee everywhere.
Oh god, it's a shame we didn't have a camera.
Just a barn cam.
Literally spilled so much coffee down.
Anyway, yeah. So 3 years you've been with us, Max, which is that longer than you, Dan? Who was here first?
Dan's been before me. About a year and a bit.
Yeah, I'm about 4.5 years now.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah, 3 years gone quick, innit?
Yeah, I lost probably more hair like in that time than I lost probably all the years before.
So the hair from your
that's
head,
a maturity thing, or whether it's
the hair from your head's going and the hair on the beard's growing. So.
Yeah, I just look dishevelled. I've been all ill and that, and I'm like feeling sorry for myself. So when you do that, you don't tend to give a fuck about your appearance.
Yeah, true.
I'll get my first fuck in there as well.
Yeah, it's always like, there was a couple in Tommy's where he was just like, and I couldn't believe it. It's just like it's fine. Yeah. We're all adults here.
Yeah. There's I tick the explicit box when I upload it, so iTunes don't tell us off basically. So
sweet.
That's where I
just don't say.
We'll have to bleep that one.
I think we'll bleep that one.
That's not my favourite word though. It's the best one.
Are you gonna? I've got a question. Go on.
Yeah, you obviously. We'll explore a few things. I nearly said explore Max Hendry then. We'll explore a few things about your life at Nash throughout this episode.
Yeah.
Loads to talk about your personal fishing and a few other directions we'll go off in, I'm sure. But let's start with when you first joined Nash, because your role at the company when you first joined is a lot different to what you're doing today. Am I correct in saying that?
Jump in before that. How did you actually get the job?
So basically it started off me just editing magazines and doing that sort of thing. That was my previous job, working at Total Carp and Advanced Carp.
How did you get that job?
I got that job by doing work experience for 2 weeks when I was at uni, and then they basically said, yeah, we'd like you to come back as a full-time. So I finished my last exam for my degree on
Sorry to
Friday.
just jump in. It's incredible how many people actually get their jobs in the industry through work experience.
Giving something for free.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, don't they?
Yeah,
I know.
I think it's a way to show your worth, if you know what I mean. People aren't given, it's financial, isn't it? They're not having to give you loads of money just to find out how good you are.
Yeah.
You can show how good you are in a space of time.
Like a free trial run. So. Yeah.
Exactly.
Credit to my parents, paid for a little B&B in Northampton. And
no way, I didn't know that.
Basically I lived in Northampton for 2 weeks and then got the job there. Yeah. Finished my last exam for my degree on the Friday. Moved into a flat with my girlfriend on the Saturday and then started work on the Monday. So
nice.
Straight out of uni into employment, which is always good, isn't it?
True so Max Hendry whirlwind fashion.
Yeah, so everything in a Ford Focus, like absolute mess. Left some stuff back at college, like big sack of pellet, which I'm devastated about in hindsight. But yeah,
are you running short on pellet now, or are you doing it right?
Yeah,
you made up for it now.
Gained a bit. But it's good. And then basically worked there for 5 years, I think, something like that.
So when you came to Nash, was it a position that was advertised or did you get approached?
Sort of. I think basically Alan had set out this role, if you like. It was very convoluted because it's Alan. He likes writing a list, doesn't he? And it was like 4 pages long of just loads of things that he couldn't do anymore that he would just like someone else to do for him.
It'd be like a job description for a job and like the first 10 points would be very sensible, and then the next like 10 points like net the lake down the road when we need you to.
And like clean out take £4 off that geezer down at Royston or whatever. Like there's mad stuff like that. So it started off a bit like convoluted, and I think that's probably the best way at Nash because then they find your niche, like where you sit.
A lot of people,
So that was how it started, and then basically I went to have a meeting with Kevin and Alan. I've been at Sutton at home doing a feature. I thought I'll just pop over and go and meet Kevin and Alan, probably have a chat, and they said, we want to do this job. And I just said, I can do more. Like, I want to do more, and maybe I would like to further my career. At the moment, I'm in a job where I'm editing a magazine, almost my own boss. I can very much motivate myself, and I'm very career driven, and I want to do better. You know,
fair play, mate.
So I pitched it to them, and then they went, give us 24 hours because we're not actually sure now what we're
in this office here. Was it in here?
It was in the little room, right near all the toilets and that, and it was very informal actually. I was in a pair of joggers and
always is, mate.
That's it. But that's almost the best way, and it was a lot more relaxed as a result. So had a nice time, had a few coffees and had a chat, and then went away. And the next morning, get a phone call from Alan. They said, I'd like you to be the brand manager of Nash Bait. To which point I was like, sorry, I'm taking this, definitely. didn't even think about the fact that I probably want to live in Essex. I lived in Northampton, miles away at the time, but you just do, don't you? Because I knew that the ceiling at Nash was a lot higher than where I was. Magazines, as a rule.
Yeah. Sensible.
You know, the print world, obviously, it's very competitive, and I always felt like I was at the top of my ceiling already, and I was 23, 24 years old. So I think, it was a very good move for me.
Cool. So we've kind of caught up with what Alf originally said then. So your role when you started was actually very different to your role now. What was your role when you started?
So at that time, Nash Bait didn't have a Facebook page or any social media, so I started that up. Don't get me wrong, I'm never going to claim to be the best marketeer when it comes to that sort of thing, because unlike Alfie, I don't study it, if you like.
So like you said, it was very much a brand. Nash Bait
so looking
brand.
At the brand itself, so how we can make sure everything's consistent across it, how we market to our customers and everything like that. And to a degree, I oversee that still now, but I've very much had to take a different role, and that's where it has blossomed, really. I would say in my job, it's probably where I feel the happiest, actually, because I now work and run the factory. And
very much
oversee the operations
manager
for that.
now.
So I will have an involvement in any sort of new products that I work with Gary on, but the mainstay of it is making sure that factory is running right and how we can improve it.
So the difference between those two, originally you were going out, you were shooting, it was like the customer facing almost. You were shooting magazine features, you were with Alan a lot, you were on the road a lot, you were coming up with ideas for marketing and what we wanted to put in the magazines, what we wanted to
Bible.
do. That Bait Bible, Bait Book,
put that together.
All that. And now it's actually bigger than that. It's the running of the actual factory, deciding what bait we create, what bait we roll, how much we roll, how we get our ingredients, everything, just like the whole running of all that. Literally.
So I will see a product through from when me and Gary have a talk about it over a coffee in the office, all the way through to seeing it on a shelf, and also seeing how it's portrayed, if you like, in the market.
Which is quite rewarding, I imagine.
It's quite cool. So
because all I imagine, Max, is obviously we lost you at this office, this site. When was that?
Over a year ago.
It's been over a year. I was about to say.
It was about this time last year. I got approached by Kevin Lee, Kev's son, and Alan, basically, and they said, we want you to go in there and
sort it out.
Crack
basically.
whips, mate.
And I'm not going to lie, it's a baptism of fire. Like, I've never ever done anything to do with factory, but if you look at it with a subjective view, look at the numbers, and you just look at stuff from as an outsider almost, because you've got to bear in mind the factory's been doing the same sort of way, it's been doing the same production, same sort of things for 20 years. Like, you can soon start going, well, why are they doing it like that? Because there's a quicker way. And already it's all getting more and more efficient, so we're increasing how much we can roll in a week based on how we move our shifts around. We're doing better with ingredients, how we buy them, and all that sort of thing. So it's become a bit of a labour of love, and now I don't see my girlfriend now. Like, I just talk to her on Skype or something. I've got I've just get all my post delivered to Nash now because it's easier, and it's all good. So
he's got a little roll-out mattress on the floor. He sleeps in the corner next to the night shift by the rolling machine. It says Max on it.
But it has been required for me to get that level out of the factory and do that work now, because in the long run, I was well aware, like even Alan said to me, Max, you're going to have to just stop going fishing really for this year and just graft, because I know that you can do it, but you need to really concentrate on your job and ultimately what is your career, because that's how you get further in life and everything. I know I'm never going to profess to be like the most amazing angler. I'm never going to get paid to go fishing.
And although
I'm never under that illusion either,
you've just said it like that, but I know that Blair would have really said, like, there's two options there. You can take the step back and keep doing what you're doing, and it kind of limits where your career is, but you get to go fishing all the time, you see your girlfriend, or if you really want to carry on in your career, you can go down like the Nash route and just graft it. And I think, like, I've been put that dilemma before, I'm sure you, not dilemma, that option, and you've got there's only so much time in the day, and if I wanted to go fishing all 3 nights a week and whatnot, I could, but you'd have to, like you said, I'm sure it's not like you're going to have to stop fishing now.
Trade-off, isn't it?
It's a trade-off. It's not like he's gone, it's this or you're fired. It's like, well, how far do you want to take this? And this is what you've got to do to get that far.
Definitely. I think at Nash, if you do grab the bull by both horns and really work, like it's always going to work out well for you, you know.
Yeah.
Like they appreciate the people that work hard, the guys that have done very well in the company are all. We look up to them, don't we? As people that graft.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. So
you've got to be the same.
Yeah.
I just have this picture of you when you're over in a factory, obviously on the product evolution side of things, just in this big lab coat with your glasses on now in a room full of hundreds of thousands of little pipettes and just sort of like scientists writing down crazy maths equations trying to figure out what is the most irresistible bait. Now, am I a little bit deluded in that thought process, or is some of that true? Like,
yeah, I think we just bang a load of gear together and see what happens. Like, that's almost like it's almost like doing gets you the best results. If you test a bait for a long period of time, then obviously you're going to be able to tweak it to finalise what you know is right. And we did actually make a conscious decision maybe 6-8 months ago. I come in here and said, right, let's can all the releases for at least a year and give me a set, let me set up. Like, I'm trying to improve the factory, but you won't even get the supply for the factory if I don't get all that sorted.
Yeah,
and then I can't even sort out the new stuff. Like, it's no good bringing out new stuff and chasing a spike and we can't even hit the back orders, for instance. So I was very conscious, let's get that nailed. We're getting there now. Everything's looking good for the next year and I'm really happy with how I've forecasted it, if you like. So now the next step is, right, products. So for the next 2 years, Kev already knows now, in 2 years' time, what we're bringing out. And that's what he never had for the factory. You know, he never had that for the bait side. It was like, in 2 weeks, let's bring out this bait. Or what can we do with that? You know, like it's got to be a bit more time. Like, you've got to nurse it and work the right thing in. So,
in terms of going away from the marketing side of things and more into the production side of things, have you, obviously you're going in and kind of going under Gary's wing, who is like the guru of all bait gurus. Like, I thought he was just some crazy old man who liked bait. When I went, and to a degree, but when I went and I remember shooting a feature with him on my first year at Nash and spending the day with him. I think I went fishing that night. I just sat on the bank like, I know nothing. Like, he knows so much about bait. Like, he's actually a scientist.
It's a
the way he's an absolute genius, and he's talking about what this works in those situations, and I can't remember any of it. Like, it's just baffled me, and I completely and utterly took it for granted and underestimated how good and how knowledgeable that man is. And you've gone, I want to learn all that shit. Yeah. And so now you're going to be, because Basie's taken a step back. If people don't know, he's
2 days a week.
2 days a week.
Yeah.
He's semi-retired now.
So he basically goes.
Sorry, how long's he been in 30 years?
Oh yeah, something like that, mate.
30 years for Nash? Since day one, wasn't it?
Since day one, yeah. Since it was catch 'em, and then all of that started. So Nash, you said about his. It cost him 180 grand, didn't he, on the last podcast to get Gary Bass? I think he's earned it by now.
I reckon so,
and then
mate.
some. He is an absolute genius. But then on the face value with Gary, you only have to look at him, and he's like me, and he doesn't care about his appearance.
And that's what I love about Gary. I love anyone like that who just doesn't give a fuck about what other people think of him.
Yeah.
Like,
he just boiled eggs in the morning, a whole coffee, and then doesn't shit for 4 days. Like, he's a wrong one, but at the same time,
he's a wrong one.
Yeah, but all that time pooing each day, that's a lot of time he could be working, isn't it? So he's kind of efficient, I suppose.
I would like to be in that toilet when he does finally.
You don't want to go in after him.
But he will just wear anything. We were shooting last year, and I just said, who the fuck is this coming around the lake? And there was just some old boy, massive hair, scruffy as fuck, and he was wearing a camo coat with a high vis vest, and I was just like, does he want to be
There's only
seen?
one man that can be seen.
And he'll just wear whatever. He doesn't give a fuck. And that's what I love about him. And he's just concentrated on his job, and he's incredibly good at it. But where I was going is, you've gone, well, Gary's taken a step back. Someone needs to fill those shoes. So how much have you just been learning, haven't you? You've just been learning about bait, and
for sure, like post fit experience. I would like to get more into the lab, and with Gary, that's something that you could never lose time. Like, you could always benefit from, But
absolutely.
At the same time, I've got another bit of the job that Gary maybe didn't do, and that is all the procuring the flavours or the ingredients, that sort of thing. He would have done that back in the day, but I've got to do that now myself, and I'm trying to improve the factory and other projects. I've got another one that we're trying to sort out at the moment. So exclusive and that. But basically, it's meant that I'd like to say that I'm going to elevate Nash. I don't think that I can't just say that I'm the next Gary Bass, because I'd like to say I'm the first Max Hendry. That's kind of the way I look at it, you know. So
that's the name of the podcast.
Yeah, sort of. Not something muggy.
The real Max Hendry.
Yeah. So I think I'm really looking forward to the next sort of couple of years, and I see that like next 2 years as my career defining moment, really.
Cool.
Fishing.
Yeah, cool. We'll buy you a crown.
Yeah.
I
thought you'd be like, what, so you could do his drawings, like paint, like, crayon.
Crayon.
Yeah,
we're
just getting some crayons, a bit patronising.
Yeah, we'll get you some nice crayons, mate.
Yeah. So I like to say I'd like to be in the lab more with Gary, but I've been fishing with Gary. I went to Belgium with him this year. Spent 4 days on the bank. Like, really good, you know. We're just talking about stuff. Don't have to talk about fishing or talk about baits or in product development, but things will come in as you're talking about your fishing. Like, how can we get that carp to feed? We fished a particular stretch that was like very sight fishing orientated. Big carp, very close in clear water. You were seeing how they're picking stuff up, and we were going like, how could we apply bait?
Yeah,
that makes
why
it
is that?
to catch that carp,
why is it
you know?
rejected
Like,
that bait? Why is it?
Forever learning.
Yeah, for sure. And there's like, I don't know whether there's ever going to be a holy grail of bait, because people will have their own preferences. Like, we'll know that there's baits that catch the angler quicker than they catch the carp. And
absolutely.
Well, you
all
think
them
how
sort of things.
competitive the market is for bait. It's got to be one of the most. And you see new bait companies propping up all the time, and so it's an industry that are very competitive. I'd say more so than the terminal side of things and everything.
Absolutely.
I think it's very hard
to
to set up that business and do that sort of product development in like the big tackle items, because ultimately it's a big investment initially to hit like the minimum order quantities of a bivvy and stuff like this.
Well, I know a lot of people
who
I guess start that bait rolling thing as a hobby in their kitchen. I roll my own bait, and then they go, "This is quite easy. I'll just up the ante little by little, sell to a few mates." And so you see a lot of
sort of regional, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of new companies do pop up, way more so than terminal tackle or larger luggage items and that.
And I think there's a big step between that and us, just for the sheer reason that them guys are going to be all the way from making it to sending it out to paying for it to marketing it, everything. They couldn't employ another guy, most of them. This is, like, without speaking out of turn, you know, it's the next step, getting your own factory and getting things in the shops and selling it on an e-commerce website and marketing it right. That's 3 or 4 staff already, you know.
Absolutely.
And that step is very big investment, and then you're in the echelons of your groups of very high businesses, and that's when it gets really hard, you know. And that top of the tree is bait wars.
Bait wars.
If you like. But we don't speak ill of anyone, you know. We just get on with it. Like,
absolutely.
We just want to enjoy ourselves at work, and we're all just trying to make a living, aren't we? And enjoy fishing and hopefully feed the carp something they like, and we catch them carp at the same time.
So while we're on the subject of bait factories, obviously there's some crazy. I know we mentioned in the Kev podcast, the amount of eggs.
Yeah, I think it's going to go up as well, because I've started working it out.
Absolutely blew my mind when I said to the guys, because I think I knew that. Kev told us first, and then I think I went back in the office and said, have a guess. They were like talking in the thousands, low thousands. And I mean, is there any? How much bait can we roll?
So we can roll at a top end about 30 to 33 tonne, but this is all dependent on the sizes. So in a week.
In a week.
Yeah, but if I was to say
33 tonne,
that's the hard thing though, because like when you say that, say I was rolling 20 millers solid in one flavour, I could do 40 tonne. I reckon. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because
it's not just
it just eats paste. You just throw it in and it disappears. But if you're running 12 millers, like you can. I think this is why they're probably more. They obviously cost a little bit more because the manufacture time is more, you know, and it's justified because you roll in maybe 600 to 900 kilos in a shift, whereas if you go in 20 millers, you can roll 2 tonne. So you're starting to.
That explains, because I'm regularly faced with that question: why the 12 millers more expensive? And it was.
It's just rolling time, you know. It takes that bit longer, and and it's more time consuming.
Yeah, we've
got to justify it in the labour, I suppose.
The selling price.
But like I say, so if I was to roll it, I could do big numbers. But
it's not as simple as
no, it isn't.
One figure for a week.
No, I've got 300 lines of bait now, so we do 300 different products.
Do we
manufacture
really?
Ourselves?
Wow.
Yeah. So you got to think.
And we've cut it down.
Exactly. So you think like each time we do one instant action in 15 mil, I've still got to cover 4 different products to make sure that I don't go out of stock.
Yeah.
So that's when it starts adding up, you know.
Yeah.
And we can do big yields, and we do, but I think, like I say, it can vary from 1 week. We might do 20 ton, but then we can go as high as like 33 on a good week. We're rolling the bigger baits.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I think we use more egg now. Like, this is literally since Kev's podcast, I've taken on even more eggs.
Chickens.
So, yeah.
Chicken farm is well
recruited
good now.
more chickens, done a lot of interviews, and these are good ones, and now we've got it. But
is it true that now we use, because like obviously chicken eggs are quite small?
We can't crack them, mate. Like, it'd be insane.
No, I was saying I heard we use ostrich eggs.
No.
Bigger eggs, less eggs.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a tip there for you, Max.
Take that back.
You try
to
cracking an
development,
ostrich egg. It's hard. They're thick, mate. No, we get them from a company that supplies them cracked in liquefied form, and they are basically, they come in 1,000 litre drum.
I thought you meant like the eggs then. You get them, but someone's just cracked them off for you. So all you have to
literally
do is
a giant cracker. A giant cracker and a sieve.
You get them cracked? Wow, how do they not leak?
Yeah. Just trays of just cracked eggs that are leaking. Impressive.
Efficiency.
Yeah, so I reckon we're up to 2 million eggs now.
2 million eggs a year.
I can't remember what I said now. Yeah, 1.6 million eggs a week, isn't it?
Is it a week?
I can't remember if it was a week or a month.
It can't be
a month. 2 million eggs a month. That's what it is.
That's a lot of eggs for a week.
Yeah.
It's a lot of omelettes.
It's enough, mate.
Yeah.
So we've got a fridge called the egg fridge.
Yeah, you showed me it. I don't know if I mentioned in the last podcast.
Yeah, you just mentioned the smell. That's all I...
Oh my God. I was showing Barney around on his first day, and Max was like, I'll show you a tour. This is the egg fridge. I was like, just all this liquefied egg.
So all getting mixed up. It's lovely. You get used to the smell anyway. You go nose blind in the end. But.
So all those other factories in that industrial estate, they must hate you.
Do you think? No. Well, yeah, they did at one point.
Because obviously... Doesn't it not just stink? There's times where I turn up to that industrial estate to come to the warehouse and it absolutely fucking stinks.
But I know what you're rolling when I come around the corner. Oh, he's rolling squid today.
Squid today, yeah.
Oh, really?
That crash.
Yeah. This is what I mean, you go nose blind to it, but I reckon, like, I don't know, some insurance firm or something who just works around the corner.
Yeah, there was literally a law firm behind this.
Was there? They just must be going in
the summer and we're making squid.
in the suits and briefcases, just like crab and lobster or something like that.
So new bait.
Don't know, I just made it up. Sounds good. Write that down.
Product development.
This is how it works.
2050. Basically, we did have some complaints. Yeah, can't lie.
Did you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, but we spent a lot of money and time doing a lot of work on the extraction and the way we filter the air and stuff.
Just put those car smells.
Yeah, we just got loads of magic trees.
Trees
all hung up, like 600 of them. We had to change them every 3 days.
Black ice.
Yeah, black ice. That's the flavour, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big up to Magic Tree. We need to get a sponsorship for this vlog.
If you are listening, we do accept donations in the form of car air fresheners.
So yeah, basically we did a lot of work. Me and Gary actually, we had environmental health in, and they went, you've got to drop down to one machine and use one machine because that's all your extraction will manage. And we were like, absolutely not. We're going to have to sort this out. So this is costing us money. We're going to be behind on production and supply and everything. So me and Gary sat there and got it all done. We wrote 120 page document to the council in like a space of a week and got all of the production done and all signed off. Got all the velocities for the air. This is all stuff I don't have a clue about, by the way. I speak like I'm talking, like I understand it, but like I had to get like really learn this fast so that we could get it done.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, me and Gary got it written up, all perfected, and sent it off, and they came back and said, "Yep, you can roll full production again." So we increased the amount of chimneys by like 4, and we spent silly money.
Bit of a scare, that. That's a big. You think you've invested in the machine, and then they say, "Well, you can't use that, mate."
Yeah, it's got to be turned off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
wow.
And it's so black and white. If they find it on or they come and spot check you, like you'll get closed down. Like they could have closed us down, but they let us run one machine, you know. So and that's dangerous, you know, for a business. It's very, very dangerous.
How do they measure the smell? Well, because of the smell to other businesses.
So it's the reports, and then when they'll have someone walk round, and we have to do an odour assessment every day now. So we have 8 different points around the factory.
Well, we just go
like around the site, yeah, and they literally have to go.
It's not got like a fancy like smellometer or whatever.
I just imagine this is a touchy subject, so I've got a massive schnoz, but
do you want to come and do it?
Yeah, this is I just imagine this really fancy car coming and just like getting, remember the old Mint advert with the bloke and there's like, this dude just gets out and it's like good, just walks around and goes,
acceptable.
Good. Yeah. That's just when you said there's a
Yeah, if your
Professional
career
smell
ever
test.
goes to shit, mate.
Yeah. I just take a photo side on profile and just be like, "Look, I'll
Your
smell shit
LinkedIn
for
profile
you."
is
I'm
just
the
your
schnoz,
nose.
man.
Yeah, the schnoz.
So
Anyway.
basically, yeah, that's what we have to do now. We do all these odour tests, and as a result, we're allowed to run them because mine and Gary's plan went through.
Yeah, sweet.
So
Well
that's
done,
good.
mate.
Yeah, so it means we can run full production. We just had another load come in. So our lab is where we make the concentrated flavours. It's going to be the site of the most smell, isn't it? Obviously. That wasn't quite up to scratch. So we've spent a lot of money and it's getting done at the moment as we speak. They're setting all the pipe work and...
Yeah, it gives me a headache, that room, mate.
Yeah.
I've been in there once and I had a headache for the rest of the day, so...
Yeah. I thought it was Gary. Like, when I used to go in there for a long while, I thought it was Gary, but it isn't. It's just that smell. It does it to you.
Yeah.
But no, it's all good. And I think it's, like I say, once that's sorted, the smell will just disappear, you know. And at one point, I remember someone saying that they could smell squid powder being made on a Saturday in Malden, which is like 20 miles away or something silly like that. And now, and the co-op just up the road, they could smell our bait factory. And that's like a mile away. Yeah. And now they're like, we don't even smell you, don't even know you're there. So it's got a lot better. Yeah, I think the localised site could do with a bit of work, and that's what we're doing. But after that,
happy days, mate.
Good.
Yeah.
And they just decided to build a housing estate right next to us as well, which is great. So that's been helpful.
Cool,
yeah, because they're all
imagine that one.
out in the summer and they can just smell like squid. But I have to say, the complaints we get, we look back at the logs of production, it's always on a fruity day. Rolling strawberry, and they're moaning about strawberry, and I'm thinking I could do a lot worse. Let's get it out. Let's get some crustacean out or something. Really wind you up. But yeah, strange, isn't it? What people's noses do, especially as the non-anglers. I think anglers will be like, oh cool, smells like strawberry, but yeah, members of the public do not like it.
So away from the production side of Nash Bait, let's go for some technical. We don't like to go too technical on here, but
enzymes and proteins.
No, not that, like fishing related. Autumn, I'd say we're there now, aren't we?
Yes, starting to see a bit of gold in the old trees. Yeah, so it's looking good out there, isn't it?
Bait tips for autumn. How would you change your baiting approach going from the summer months into the autumn kind of thing? Would you change the way you fish and the way you bait?
Everyone says fill it in with boilies, and it's all in my interest, isn't it, to say that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
bait company and everything, but
so what you're saying is
it used to be, didn't it? Like everyone goes, I think because fishing in the summer used to be less so, and the bait that they didn't or they used to put in maybe wasn't quite as quality as we're getting now, and in the volumes. I think now they see that bait so much of the year that they don't need a big autumn feed up like you'd expect. They'll still feed well, but most of the fish have done their growing since spawning already. Yeah, I know on Bayswater a lot of fish are 4 pound up. That's amazing growth. Yeah. But that's only over the summer. If they can't put 8 pound on in the next 3 months before winter. It's not going to happen. So they're going to just be topping up. So they maybe wouldn't eat quite as much as you think.
Very interesting.
So do you reckon that's more on the fisheries, do you know what I mean? Where the syndicates which are fished regularly, they're fed regularly, the fish actually pick up their weight a lot quicker than they maybe used to 10, 15, 20 years ago when...
And I think with autumn, autumn brings the weather that we want. In the summer, high pressure, still boring. Don't catch many of those. It's floaters and zigs. They sit in the weed, don't they? What are they doing now? They won't be sitting in the weed, are they? Looking out there.
Yeah.
It's bang on. Wilson's boshing them up, isn't it? And
Wilson's out right now.
It's windy and rainy and lovely. And I think that becomes more common at this time of year. So the fish just get their heads down rather than sitting in mid layers and all that. I think that's what's more important, is these next couple of moon phases, the unsettled weather. That is big carp weather.
So you'd say, on the most part, if that's something that's been working in the summer, you don't really need to change much. Going into the autumn, you don't need to up your bait, you don't need to do anything like that. Just
keep feeding them and make sure you fish the right spots.
Regularity more than just filling it in. Yeah.
And also I think the spots are very important. On Bayswater, certainly at the moment, you've got a lot of dying weed, and that is putrid. It's horrible, Find them glassy spots that you bring the lead back and it smells just like water. It smells like lake. It doesn't smell like someone's taking a crap on the spot. Do you know what I mean? And that is common. You do think everywhere's a drop. Perfect. I'm getting it slamming down. You reel it in, and even your bait that's a hinge rig that's 2 inches off the bottom smells like crap. You just know they're not going to want to eat it. Basie goes, fuck it, don't matter. He always says that. It don't matter. They eat all the time and they eat their own poo and everything. Don't worry about it. But for me,
it matters.
I do look a bit more.
Spots are spots for a reason, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it. And sometimes obviously they're at the back end of the year now. You're not going to develop a new spot. You've got to almost find the ones that have been used, you know, like look where they're showing and fish from. So
shoot people up, basically.
Yeah, basically just.
No, I'm joking. Whoever's been top rod,
he's been baiting.
Go where he's fishing. No. What about your personal fishing? Have you got plans for the next 6 weeks or so?
I think it's been a bit of a funny one this year. I put everything into that bait factory, and I've done less nights this year than I've done for quite a while, you know.
Yeah.
But I've tried to pick them cleverly in terms of when certain conditions are coming in, and maybe try to trickle a bit of bait in. I'll be trying my best to get out between now and sort of end of November, really, and then I will fish somewhere in the winter, because I will be trying to do Tuesday and Thursday nights, like overnighters. I think it's important for me and brain. It's good for my mental health.
Yeah,
personally.
definitely.
Like, I do really benefit from getting out in the fresh air. There's nothing better than getting them rods out.
100%.
Laying back on the bed chair or sitting up on your chair and just taking that one deep breath of the evening.
Yeah.
And going, I feel like peace.
Chilled.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so usually I get that point, and then I'd like a swan will wipe me out or something, and all hell breaks loose. Head's gone, head's rolling, can't get my rod back out, tangle up, crack off.
It's got dark, can't see a spot.
Yeah, and then just curl up in the fetal position and cry.
Just reel him in and just...
Yeah, reel him in and just watch Netflix.
Yeah. So basically...
Fishing.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, I think I will do a bit more time, but I'm not...
It's not your main focus at the moment?
Not at the moment, no. I mean, we do have one impending, don't we? Are we allowed to speak about it? We might as well now.
Where we're going?
Oh yeah,
say where?
No. Let's just keep it secret, because I'll probably
we're going away as a group, aren't we?
Yeah, we're all going fishing.
Oh, we're gonna go do the social. Yeah. Another one.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that. I must admit,
that's just a week solid fishing abroad.
So
and it's gonna be sick.
Yeah. So I've been prepping a lot for that, getting all my stuff sorted.
Yeah.
Getting some gear ready, and
you're going to have them little secret scientific edges, I'm sure. Max is catching more than everyone else, where he's found
a lot of it's going to be down to the draw, isn't it? So
yeah,
that's the thing. Like, you can have all the best bait trinkets in the world, and all that matters is that you're right on top of a pod of 30 kilo carp. Like, that's the one, isn't it?
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And it might happen exactly the different way. I reckon Ollie's always a hot tip for starting it off. Ollie always kicks off well.
Yeah,
he's really good at that.
Always straight in there. Yeah.
Like yeah, he's very good at that. Which is a real.
Well, you'll be there before us, because you'll be. I'm sure
we'll be able to see him.
Yeah.
I reckon we'll see him a bit.
Yeah, but there's no fish until we get there. You know that.
No, it's all right. I don't fish. I just watch them.
Yeah, true.
So when you have been able to get out this year, Max, I know you've been to a few venues. We went up to Linear, didn't we, the other day? Yeah. And earlier in the year, actually, didn't we? In the winter, we had a good session. But those sessions you have been able to sneak out on in amongst your mental lifestyle over at Bait Factory, anything that stands out for you this year?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's all sort of coincided with my girlfriend going away.
Yeah. When she's gone, you're allowed to
tongue in cheek saying that. Yeah. But yeah, basically she went away and she's a teacher, so she took a load of kids to South Africa on a little safari excursion. So it's just me and the dog.
What school does she teach at?
She basically offered it out for this trip, and they went all on safari, which is mega. But that meant
when I was a kid, we went to Wicken Fen Nature Reserve in the Fens.
Pond
a mile away.
About as far as
3 miles away. And I saw a frog.
Buzz.
Not as exciting.
Sorry, go on. Yeah, she's gone away.
So she's gone away about 2 weeks to myself. So I actually worked out that I spent 3 days at home. So the rest of it, I didn't sleep in my own bed. So that might have been sleeping at the bait factory or doing some fishing. So part of it's prep work. It was that real weird time in the summer where it was boiling hot, like for long periods, and we didn't really get a lot of rain and wind. And all of a sudden, this one weekend, it did. So I went down to a lake. One of the chaps that works on the site and stuff, he helps run in Essex, and it's got some real nice carp in it,
mega carp,
old ones, and it's a decent size for Essex lakes. There's not many lakes that are right above 10 acres in Essex, it seems like, but this one's about 35 acres. So
not easy, is it? Yeah, not easy.
No, it's not the easiest lake. They do show themselves, so it feels like it's easy, but you could sit for hours with them over the top of you, not catch anything.
Yeah.
So I just went over there and did a bit of walking, a bit of leading about while it was quiet. It's not actually a busy lake, So
it's not?
No, it's only about 4 on the one weekend that I did fish. I fished the weekend, and Yeah, I managed to catch a 29 just over a bait, but this lake is the maddest feature-filled lake I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
You're looking at 50 bars, gravel bars, in series all along, and you're fishing at the ends of them. So you're talking like maybe a rod length of width on fishing on top of the bar before your rig's just plummeting into the horrid silkweed in the trenches, if you like.
Yeah.
And you hook one, and it's just like snag fishing central as soon as you hook one, because they just go over the back of a bar and lodge you up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting fishing, and spent that weekend, managed to catch 29. I'd say real nice common over a bit of bait. But that evening on the Sunday, I knew I had a bit more time before Charlotte got back, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to give them a bit of bait. So I baited another bit on the southwesterly because I knew the wind was changing. Went and had a lovely pizza with you boys and Carl and Alex.
Oh yeah, it was out then, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then went into work early morning, did loads of work, and then basically decided, right, I'm going at midday. It got to 4 o'clock and I hadn't gone yet, and then finally got left. Yeah, shot there, got a McDonald's in me, got the rods out perfect in a nice calm wind. Wasn't quite a southwesterly yet, so it's always good, isn't it, when you just prep it perfectly. You're almost like rubbing your hands together, aren't you, waiting? And got the rods out, all sorted, perfect. And the next morning it sort of kicked off. I had 4 bites and landed a 33 common and a 28 pounder.
Happy days,
sick Max shots.
Classic Max Hendry, just a thumb up phone shot on the mat. Like,
caught a big one.
To the group chat.
Yeah, that was it.
I had a sick one, putting it back. It's like, but it's mega. It's like, caught it.
Yeah. Picture it didn't happen, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, so picture it didn't happen.
So even if it is a thumbs up on the mat, then it's gone. But no, like I say, that was the most enjoyable fishing, because it's like plan coming together. I really like that, like working it out and getting it.
Yeah, short but intense period of making a plan, carrying the plan out, plan working.
Yeah. But the wind was
confidence
just
up here.
Yeah, after that, just knowing. And I think the lake's supposed to be around 6 nights a bite average. And I think I had 6 bites in the end in 5 bites in 6 nights fishing. So I felt like for the lake that I'd stepped foot on for the first time.
And it's tricky anyway, even
weeks,
people who fish there, it's a tricky lake, man.
That's it. And yeah, I was really happy with the result, and that just made it sweet. And I'd say that was the most enjoyable fishing I'd done all year.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah, and I haven't really had a chance to go on Bayswater like I wanted to. I've still got that coconut common in my head. Like I'd love to catch that, and I'd like to catch it this autumn. If I can make that happen, then that Essex lake that I spent a bit of time on, I'd be very happy to go on there for the rest of the year, because there's another big common in there. So.
Yeah, sick.
No match shots though if you do get that one.
Yeah, so might have to poach a camera. I think Basie gave me his camera, but it wasn't even working when I last checked. So.
Basie's got a camera.
Basie's got a 35mm lens and everything. Like, he's carping, he cut as they come, but he's like, don't know how to use it.
Yeah, of course.
You can give him his back then, Dan, as soon as you nicked it.
Yeah, basically I stole Max's camera off him. I didn't steal it. It was the mediating camera.
Yeah, ish. Yeah, it was. Basically, I wasn't going fishing. I wasn't working on the bank or doing anything to do with features or photography.
Yeah.
So having a camera sat there redundant when we've got all the media team swapping around and doing bits and bobs, like it sort of was counterproductive to have a very expensive camera sat there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Very warranted. But yeah, if you can give me it back, I'll be most happy.
Probably
I've got a lot
can't.
of lenses and that, but
probably can't.
Yeah.
Anywho, moving on.
Yeah.
Well, another thing which you're renowned for amongst us boys at Nash is that is so Max Hendry.
Yeah.
We spoke about it in a previous podcast, didn't we?
We did, in I think it was the Tommy's podcast, way back, episode 3.
Then we did that Belgian trip.
Yeah, that was
that
Tom's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically I do stupid shit, don't I, sometimes. But it's not even on purpose. Like,
which is why it makes it all the more relevant that it's just like such a thing.
That's such a Max Hendry thing to do. That is so Max Hendry. But
we
don't see it as much anymore with you leaving.
Yeah, I think I don't know why. I don't know whether it's. I know I'm 28, so you wouldn't think I've grown up a bit, but I don't know.
I'm sure. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure these things still happen. It's just because we're not with you as much.
They don't point it out. Like
I'm trying to think of some good examples off the top of my head. Like, well, obviously we spoke about the brand new Black Ops rods, and you put this massive jagged rock on them as a butt rest and scratch the fuck out of these spanking new 300 odd quid rods, and you're like, yeah. I was like, that's so Max Hendry. What else has there been?
They played fish nice. I didn't get them Wednesday night.
True.
The van doors open.
Oh yeah, that was a shiner.
Driving off with the van doors.
What else has there been? There is loads, but I just can't think of them.
Yeah, we did. Well, I'm sure we spoke about the two we've just mentioned, didn't we?
Yeah, the Waders one that you mentioned, but that was on
The social.
Yeah.
Plenty. Too many, but...
Yeah, there's loads of idiot times that we just forget, don't we?
Yeah, but you've definitely had that title taken from you now.
You've got your competition, you had competition, and now it's, without any shadow of a doubt...
He's gone another level, hasn't
He's gone another level, mate. And it's now, that is so Henry Lennon.
Yeah.
Who's Henry?
For those who don't know, Henry joined us back in January. He works with me on the social media side of things. And yeah, he's settled right in. He's very at home at Nash, but that is so Henry Lennon.
I've never heard someone so much come back from fishing, because he fishes a lot as well.
He loves his fishing.
Young, single, moved down there, and he just goes fishing loads. And don't get me wrong, the effort he puts into his fishing is mental. Like, he'll just go, yeah, that lake looks good. Do you know if there's any carp in it? No, I'll just go chuck some bags out and find out. And he usually does. And he does find out, and he catches some mega carp, but he's mental. Every time he comes back, he's got a different story of something that's happened. He's probably come back from fishing and he's fallen in more than he hasn't.
Or voluntarily chose to get in.
Yeah, so I went fishing.
I remember
with him.
the one time I was seeing him on a lake. Actually, he was in his pants like straight away. I was like, "All right, Henry, how's it going?"
Yeah, it's like most people get there, set up a bivvy, and get the rods out the hold or whatever. Henry gets there and takes all his clothes off, ready to fish. That's kind of what it's like, because every time he goes fishing, he's like, "Joe, I need to swim." It's like, no, you don't.
It's -9.
Yeah.
It's frozen, Henry.
We, as a couple of stories I want to touch on, I went fishing with him at a local river near work not long ago, a couple months ago now. Just work night. We started calling it Wiver Wednesdays, because we'd start going down the Wiver on a Wednesday. I think we went once and then I sacked it off. No, basically, also, the other thing is, if he can't catch one out of a river, he just goes, yeah, they've all gone, otters. I was like, I caught 2 last week. He's like, otters. But we went down there. We had a good walk, like up a mile and a half of river. Didn't see anything up and down. So I thought, I'm going to drop on where I've seen them, where I caught a couple of weeks before. And he's gone, no, I'm going to go up there. So he's walked off, and it was actually a bit of a chilly night. Like, even though it was in the summer, it was a bit cold. And I've got my rods out, fine, literally tiny little river, underarm flick, boom, fishing. I've rang him, and he's gone. I was like, they're out. He's like, one's out. I was like, oh sweet. He's like, I'm fucking freezing though. I was like, why? He's like, swam it out. Why? What do you mean you swam it out? He goes, well, I went out in my canoe. So he bought this inflatable canoe that he calls the Croc.
He's gassed about it.
Yeah, but it's the most unstable thing I've ever seen in my life. Especially when you're trying to place a rig in a boat, lean over. Like, he just thought it'd be better to do that than just underarm flick. So he's gone out and he's got a landing net pole. He's found a spot. He's dropped it. It's his only landing net. So now now the pole is on this amazing spot that he's found, this big gravel spot, 8 foot deep, and the pole's there. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to swim and get it. So he's kayaked back to the shore, stripped off to his pants. He's about to get in and go, well, actually, if I'm gonna go get that pole, I might as well swim my rig down.
Does he just have a set of goggles in the van or something as well?
He probably doesn't have that. He just opens his eyes. He's like, yeah, that's it. No, I think he just like feels. But so he's got his rod ready, and he swam out with this rig, dived down, found like where he wants to put it, perfect, plugged the lead in, got his landing net pole, come back up, and it's like 8 o'clock. The sun's gone down. It's windy. He's got no spare clothes. He's got no towel, and so he's swimming back. Turns around, there's a swan there, starts attacking him. He gets tangled up in his line to this fucking swan. Gets out, gonna have to redo my rig. Swan goes, takes it back out, redoes it, gets out and goes, might as well do my second rod. Swims out and does the second rod. And anyway, then he's rang me, he's like, yeah, I swam out. And I'm just sitting there, tees on, like 2-3 rods rocking, like, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot.
How do you get on?
He's got to be a few.
I blanked. Of course he blanked. There's this tiny little intimate river where like they're really spooking that, and there's this, I don't know, 14-stone rugby player just sploshing around.
Fighting a swan.
In a lime green kayak.
And so when he rang me, he said, all I've got on is a hoodie and pants, and I can just see him sat there one shivering away on his, and that's just an average session for him. Another one, he got to the lake, forgot, this is terrible angling, so I don't advocate this, Advocate, one of them. And he's put his rod out like a little bit down the bank from where he was fishing. He'd seen some fish, one in the edge, but he set the clutch really loose, hadn't checked it, and then realised he's forgot his landing net and was like, well, I'm not going to fish. It's like, you probably should leave your rods in, go get a land net, go home, get your land net. But no, he's just like, I've got to retain a sling, I'll be alright. Anyway, he's got this run, it's melting off, but because the clutch was too loose, all the lines got like round the back of his reel or something. So he's run over, got it, realised it can't take any line, or he can't reel it in. He can take line or can't reel it in or something like that. And so then he's in his pants, playing hand line in this fish in, with a retainer sling instead of a net, and he's just trying to lead this to come on now, this double figure comment into this retainer. And like all the other, like it's a lake where it's a bit of a reservoir and everyone can just see him. It's like, and then that kid from Nash, he's just standing in his pants, hand lining this comment into a retainer sling. He's just like, yeah, got it. That is so Henry Lennon.
And as you could, that just another level, like you said, Max. I've been top trump.
But these aren't just like a couple of random stories. This is like just
we could go on the whole episode. We could
every time.
Every
time he's just got another. What was the other one he did?
Went to Belgium the other day, Holland. Left his van key on the roof of the car. Drove all the way back to England to get his spare key, to then get back on the tunnel to go all the way back to Holland/Belgium.
Yeah, his dad had to drive him because his dad was out there with him. He's got one of those magic keys, keyless start, and he's just put it on top of his van, drove off. Then his dad had to drive him from Holland back to England to get the spare key, then drive back to Holland, and he literally just got in the car and drove home again. Idiot. And he lost his wallet that trip.
His wallet was on the roof.
How many times has he lost his wallet?
And he probably fell in as well and swam out. And
bless him.
I'm thinking about. I'm not struggling to think about instances.
No, because even on that trip again, like he was going out in the kayak and something stupid. Like I think he popped.
That's it. I just remembered now. His kayak had a puncher, slow puncher. Rather than not use it, rather than go, can't use that. He's gone.
I'll probably just cast instead. No.
Yeah, so he's got in it, and he'll get a certain distance, realise he's about to sink, and then pump it up with the pump.
He takes the pump out with him. Yeah. So he was just going, stopping, and going, just blowing up, and then going. Not going down.
Sick impression.
Just pumping himself up. It's just like,
and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Henry Lennon.
Incredible guy.
So there you go, Max. Yeah. You don't have any
worry
about
rugby though, isn't he?
Loves
getting naked.
Rugby,
drinking
beer out of each other's boneworks. Woo, lads, rugby lads. But no, you don't have to worry about that title anymore, Max, because
I cannot wait to the social. I think I might just assign one videographer just for Henry. Just film everything
just like Henry Cam. Yeah.
Henry
24 hours a day, just like Big Brother style.
Yeah, because obviously we haven't got Les anymore. He could replace Les.
As the comedic relief.
Yeah.
Nice, I like that.
Henry Cam.
Yeah.
Len Cam.
Say that he can't use any of the boats and he can only use his kayak.
Yeah, also he refuses to use a scope rod because he's got a 7-pound rod which he's had since he was a kid called Yellow Thunder. It's it's bright yellow. It's bright yellow from like Argos or something.
Oh my god.
And he's just like, I don't need a scope, I've got one of these. I was like
but he's caught loads of fish.
Yeah, he's caught more fish than any of us in the office
he's
because
he's just second on the board, our leaderboard. But so fair play to him. We can catch him, but he just provides absolute comedy to us. Absolute gold.
Comedy,
we love it. Wait till he gets in after an overnight and go, what happened last night?
So we'll gather around and go,
story time.
Yeah.
Snog, marry, avoid. Alfie, Tommy, Mikey, go. No, shag, marry, avoid.
Shag, marry, avoid.
Tommy, Alfie, Mikey.
I didn't know he was going to ask this, by the way. So
I didn't.
Well, I couldn't shag Mikey because he'd just cry in the corner.
True.
Yeah, so probably.
Girthy.
Yeah, probably like marry him or something because he'd make a good wife, wouldn't he? Because
he moans. But he moans loads.
Yeah, but just like a woman, so that's fine. We're accepting of this.
The feminists are coming.
Yeah. Come at me, bro. But probably marry Wilson. What were the other two? Is it snog, marry, avoid?
Hold on one sec. The views of this podcast are not representative of Nash. They're of Max Hendry himself.
Yeah.
The pig.
Sexist pig. No, plenty of men moaned there as well.
Anywho, so you're going to marry who?
Mary Wilson.
Mary Wilson, yeah.
You've got to look me in the eyes when you say this if it's going to be one of them.
Avoid Alfie because he just drinks too many beers and he'll be too much of a liability.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, is it Snogging it? That's the last one, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Who are the options?
It was Tommy.
Alfie.
Oh, I definitely snog Tommy because
I
he
did say
needs a bit
Shag,
of loving, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does need a bit of loving.
Yeah, show season coming up as well.
Yeah.
All right,
Nice, sweet.
very
I thought I'd
simple
just say that to kick us back in.
Yeah, mate. Game on.
Go on.
What?
A snog marry? I mean, a question?
Yeah. Yes, I do have a question. To round things off, Max, obviously you've very happy at Nash, I presume. You know.
Yeah.
From your job's changed direction.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I say that, but
Blair always says it to me. Sometimes you walk in, you look like you want to murder us all. And I'm like, oh yeah, sound. Thanks, mate.
you do have that look.
And
Max.
I do, yeah. Sometimes.
If I saw
Can't
your
lie.
face on the news that you've just gone on a killing spree around Blue Water, I wouldn't be that. No, I can't say it.
Yeah, I've got grade A psycho all over my face.
But no, like you said, new direction, you changed route, the ceiling high and everything. So as far as we're aware, Nash, you're loving it, and it seems to me you do, but there's always that time in life you have a job that you don't like so much.
Yeah, what was it before you got into fishing? Have you ever had any proper shit jobs?
Yeah, so I'd probably say over the summer, obviously, you just want a bit of cash, don't you? So it's whatever will come. Obviously, my parents don't.
Gigolo? No. Okay.
I wish that'd be easy, mate. Just chatting up old birds and not having a laugh. That'd be good.
That would be good.
Make me a steak. Cool, sorted. Right, but anyway,
You've done that before.
Go on.
Yeah, I've done this before. That is not my first rodeo. Basically, I worked on a farm. Now, farm labourer. Pretty grim job anyway. But
Harvest.
Harvest time.
Deep.
So before that, it's not like I was going and doing all the cool combine shit, like all the stuff that you think, oh yeah, wicked, I sit in a combine, listen to one extra and just drink beers out of it. Nothing like that. It was basically before the harvest, I'd clean out every grain shed. So basically I worked on like a 4,000 hectare farm. So it was a big agribusiness, and I had to basically hoover and sweep up a whole grain shed, like do all the pest control, everything like that. So it was all immaculate, and they could come in and test it all before it was like allowed to have new gear in it, if you like. So we used to do all that. But the worst bit of it, there's a load of grain dryers, and they're like huge silos, normally full of grain. They're all empty. So I'd scrub them down with a brush with loads of tape around it and loads of extensions, get it all down. It was all falling on my head, and I was wearing a mask and everything. And I'd come home every day just covered in like powder and dust and
sounds like the bait factory.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It prepared me for it. But the smells were a lot better. But the worst bit was definitely where there's like tunnels underneath that let all the air flow through, and the rats would eat all the wires that pull the vents open. So I'd have to go in there, crawl in there and weld them back together one by one in the dark. Like just the only light would be this of the welder. And they would just like, you'd do that like welding, and there'd just be rats getting archive just all around you, like in ill.
That sounds like a fucking horrendous.
Yeah, and it was so hot. Like, bear in mind, this was the summer in like what is essentially like a concrete tomb, and they'd just every so often just come in and go, "You right, mate?" And that'd be it. Like, and you wouldn't see anyone for hours.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I can imagine of the light, you just see like the skeleton of the last kid who did it.
Yeah. Oh, it was a mess. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't probably not good health and safety back then, but yeah, I just got on with it, got paid, did overtime as well just to earn some extra money.
Love them ventures.
Insured my car and had a bit of dollar to go back to college with. But yeah, I did actually knock myself out one day, and they didn't even come and see me until I woke up and went, "Oh, sweet, it's lunch."
How'd you knock yourself out? Bang your head?
This is one of them Max Hendry moments. So I've been painting a barn door on a ladder, and I got the for some reason, can't remember why. I probably got paint up my arm or on my phone or something, like on my little 5-minute, like little break, and I've slid the door really hard with some rage, and the ladder's just gone and hit me right in the back of the head as I walked away, and I was absolutely KO'd on my face, like dribbling on the concrete floor, like, and I was like, oh my god.
And what, did they just walk past you?
No one even knew it had happened. Like, they just went, I walked in a bit dishevelled, like, what's happened? And I was like, Yeah, I think I just knocked myself out. And I was like, put it in the accident book and then get back to work, and that was it. And then I went back to work. So I probably had concussion. But
I love these questions of like, what's your worst job you've ever had? I don't know why, it just fascinates me. I remember, I don't know if I've said this before, a show once, little Alex Smith, where he just created this mad, like, deep discussion group. We'd all like been to the show, everyone had gone and got changed, we were meeting in the bar, and one by one people just were joining the table. And it started off with Alex Smith going, what did you do before Nash, Dan? And I told him about this, that and the other. I used to work on a cruise ship. And he goes, tell me about the cruise ship. And he was like this talk show host. And then like I finished and he was like, He turned to Vusen and went, Vusen, tell me about your old job. And then he'd do his, and he went round like 12 people, like honestly, and we were there for about 3 hours, and each story got deeper and darker and more horrendous, and we were like, you're what? Abused as a child? Like, it didn't ever get that deep and dark. But do you know what I mean? There was some really deep stories.
Can we take bets on who that was?
Yeah, maybe not.
Who's the most shaky?
Yeah, but honestly, and not like on consultants, everyone's telling their life story, and Alex was there just like being the talk show host. But yeah, Vusen had some mega like stories. He used to work in like as a courtroom in courtroom security or something like that.
Yeah, because we never on that podcast actually went into that.
No.
Did we, Vusen?
So no, I love these, like finding out what people used to do before Nash. What did you used to do?
I didn't. I've only ever had 2 jobs in my life.
Mum just like.
Well, my mum still makes my lunch.
Yeah, mum still makes his lunch every day.
I don't ask, she offers.
Yeah.
So you take
Very
it.
nice. Yeah. Take it while you can, Alf.
Got a little happy birthday
I used to
note
work
in my
on a
sandwiches.
lettuce farm.
On a what?
Lettuce farm.
Lettuce.
Yeah.
Oh, lettuce. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
picking and planting lettuce.
Yeah, you're so Cambridge.
Yeah, my mum literally forced me from 12 years old to get a job for £2.50 an hour.
Yeah.
I don't think you could do that at that age.
You could back then.
But back then, boy, out in those fins there, be.
Get paid cash.
Yeah.
And in sweets.
Mm.
No, I just went to uni and then.
Now you're here.
Now I'm here.
The good
I
life
did like
over
the
here.
old pub thing, like work as waiter, did a paper round, as you guys know. I got paid like £6 a week, I think it was, £6 a week.
Yeah, that's it.
And I basically bought like one Total Carp magazine once a month, and it nearly write me off.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it felt like I had more money than ever. And like now, I'm skint.
Now you're still on the same wage.
Well, I've got a mortgage.
How old were you then? 22 when you did your paper round? £6 a week. Living life. No, buzzing, mate. Anything else you want to cover, or should we wrap that up then?
Well, I think that could be a good point to end it on.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Max. Hopefully you've enjoyed the podcast. It's easy, isn't it, once you relax?
Yeah, were you nervous still, or happy days?
It's like a lightheadededness, but that might be like I haven't really eaten a lot and just drink Red Bull most of the day. So.
Yeah, go straight back into the bait factory and sucking them.
Yeah, so
in the hovel.
Where are you off to now? Back to the factory?
Yeah.
Night shift?
Sorted. No, I'm going to, like I said, I've been a bit ill, so taking it easy for a bit. Probably part of the reason because I've just been burning the candle, because you got to do it. Yeah, I'm working towards next year now, so I've spent a lot of time with my head in spreadsheets and making sure everything's all costed right. Basically, like really boring stuff.
Yeah, it sounds boring.
So pivotal to the business. Like you've got to do it. So
just graft, just that head down sort
of.
If
something's got to be done, just do it.
Yeah.
Don't think about it, because that's what time wasted, isn't it?
So if your tackle shop is full of Scopex squid, this man is the reason why. And if it's not, this man is the one to blame. Yeah.
My bad. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully next year we're looking at a good year, and I've forecasted the whole of Nash Bait already. So.
Yeah. But like I say, let's not plug products too much, but going into next year, buy Scopex squid.
Yeah.
It's good.
Buy it more than anything.
Yeah. But no, right, let's wrap it up. We always are really like long-winded on our outros. You're like, there's
always more to talk about.
Do you want to do your little weekly plug?
No.
Alright.
Yeah.
No, mate.
Yeah.
Nah,
not this week.
no weekly plug.
No weekly plug this week. You can, Dan. Yeah, you take the
right,
reins.
well, thanks guys for listening, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks for those reviews, and if you want to listen, Buzzsprout and Facebook and Instagram. The
Rotten
end.
Tomatoes.
Yeah. No, go on. How do people listen?
If you want to listen to, how
he does do that voice, doesn't he?
If you're,
he just goes full Instagram story, though, don't you? When Alf goes like that, it's just like
I have a presenter.
Yeah, you have a presenter. I like it. It's good.
Go on, do it.
I'll go
Tell
full
people where they're
mode.
going to find the podcast. Tell your mates. Share it. Thanks for the review. We actually had a heartfelt review.
Oh, we did.
This is good.
We did. We had a lovely email come in. I didn't actually bring my laptop in here with me, but it was from, I think, a guy called Steve. I apologise.
Go on, you start telling. I'll find the email.
Apologise. Well, yeah, hopefully down the phone. I'm sure his name was Steve. But we actually we get reviews coming all the time. Most of them positive, which is great, and I can't thank you guys enough for the guys who do send those reviews in. But we had a guy send an email over about how he's very, very heartfelt email, but he's doing well. How the podcasts were helping because unfortunately a member of his family passed away, so he was suffering a little bit from anxiety, depression. Yeah. So he said fishing was his escape from it, which is great. I'm sure that is for a lot of people who are suffering from similar issues.
Yeah. Steve Moore.
Steve, did I get it right? I did say Steve, didn't I? Yeah, Steve. So yeah, thanks for sending this email across, Steve. He's, like I said, he said it was the moments on the bank when he's not doing something, when he kicks back, when his thoughts...
When usually people start to relax.
Right, yeah, and that but what he's doing now, he's putting the podcast on, opening a beer and chilling out, and it sort of keeps his mind off of things, and it's helping him. So never did we think the podcast would ever have that effect on people. So
just to get that feedback and just say that
on a genuine note for that.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know that we're helping you as well, and wish you all the best, mate.
Entertainment, don't we?
Exactly.
We're not doing it for an agenda. We're just doing it because it's interesting, and we all like talking about fishing, don't we?
Exactly.
The world of it.
So, really glad it's helping you, mate. Thanks for sending that one over. Nice. And again, thanks to everyone who's supporting the podcast. So.
Yeah, and thanks for Max for coming and doing it this week.
Of course,
and thanks for Alfie,
thank you, Max.
for just turning up, mate. Well done.
Thanks, unlike you last week, eh?
Oh, shit, yeah. Right, let's go.
See you later.
Bye.